All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Ricky's Podcast, the best podcast in the world. No script, no rules, no rubber. And without further ado, on with the episode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Ricky's Podcast. I'm going to try something out. It might be a bit risky. Who knows? I'm going to have to keep an eye out. But I'm using my allegedly defective microphone. So, who knows? Maybe it'll turn out well. Maybe it won't. But, hey, man. I mean, it wouldn't be the first podcast to have absolutely shite audio quality. So, you know, got that going for me. So, anyways. Yeah, this is the day after the last podcast. That's right, going in deep, just like I did when I first started, man. Now that I got some time on my hands, I got my Confederacy of Dunces book club at 10 o'clock, so that'll be a good time. Yes, indeed. But I just thought, take an hour. I got an hour. We've all got an hour just to sit down and record one of these bad boys. So, anyways, hope y'all are doing well. I'm doing very well. Had work today. It went well too. Relatively uneventful, but hey, man, I guess that's a good thing. Man, what have I done? Oh, also, just a thing, because I realized I forgot the Confederacy of Dunces review. I called it the reviewish. Because, kind of a review, kind of scattered, But I forgot to just slap a number rating on that bad boy. Confederacy of Dunces. Man, I'm feeling like maybe like a 6.5. Yeah, I'm feeling about a 6.5 or so. I would do that. Yeah, we have half rankings. You know how it is. But 6.5 out of 10, I think, is about where Confederacy of Dunces ought to be. Because it's because it really ain't a bad book, but it's also not like. In my opinion, it's not like, oh my god, you've got to read this, greatest book of all time kind of type of deal. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So I guess I've got that going for me. Anyways. Yep, just been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 lately, man. I've got my my train robbery skills down to a T, man. I really got it pretty tight. I know where to hit, I know where to stop the train and know where to go, I go safety over, I go safety over anything else, because your money's useless if you don't get away with it. So I just hit the old tunnel coming out of Annisburg, but anyways, you guys didn't come onto this podcast to hear me drop nonsense about RDR2, or maybe you did. In which case, there you go. A little bit of nugget for you. A little bit of nugs. But yeah. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. Started getting some collectibles. Got the Dream Catchers. And I started on the Dinosaur Bones. So I can maybe clear out those collectibles in a bit. Should be a nice time. Should be cool. Oh, anywho, about to have our book club to confirm our next book. Luke's choosing this next one. I think he's probably going to go with The Grapes of Wrath. Almost definitely. So that should be a good time. Stay tuned. If anybody wants to, suit up for my book club here, then whatever. I'll see if maybe I can make it more cohesive this time around. Because Confederacy of Dunces has just been, it's all just been nonsense. I don't know, maybe I'll do that, start off with mini book club. I don't know. Maybe end it with book club so you have to watch all the way through the podcast just for that little nugget that you wanted to get at the end. I don't know. I don't think I'll be that evil, but anywho. Yeah, so I'm here, we're doing it, we're making it happen. I gotta finish, I've been reading, I'm thinking of ending things. And it's such a short book. I should really just, power through and just hit that bad boy, just balls to the wall. Because, yeah, it can't be much longer, so I think I can get it done. But yes. So that's that. That's my reading thing. Wait to see on book club. We might have another power round of the bookening. So anywho, yeah, that should be a good time, man. That should be a good time. I look forward to Grapes of Wrath. It's a classic. John Steinbeck can go wrong. Actually, you can't go wrong. I was talking to Luke and Justin at our last book club because we were talking about prospects for our next book we're going to read, and I was talking about John Steinbeck and that I need to have a tiebreaker for John Steinbeck, man, because I've read two of his books, very short books, and one of them I absolutely loved. One of my all-time favorite books of all time, Of Mice and Men. Beautiful, beautiful book. If you haven't read it, you really need to because it's really good and it's really short, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's below Great Gatsby, so you can definitely shred through that bad boy. But on the other hand, I also have a book of his that I just can't stand, and that's The Pearl, man. The Pearl is it's my least favorite book I've ever had to read for an English class, and one of my least favorite books, if not my least favorite book of all time. Because the thing about, a thing like Dune, it's not a good book, but you can meme the crap out of it, and it becomes hilarious. But The Pearl is just boring, in my personal opinion. This is all my opinion. It's my opinion because I'm saying it. But, yeah, The Pearl, I'm not a fan, man. Not a fan. It gets the fat 0 out of 10 for me, man. 0. Maybe I'll throw it a bone, give it a 1 out of 10 just to make it feel better. But yeah, it's not a good book. It is not a good book in the slightest. But hey, man, this is what the tiebreakers are for. So anyways, I was talking to them about that, and they're like, oh, dude, I've been wanting to read the Grapes of Wrath anyways, so let's do that. So yeah, we're going to be probably reading the Grapes of Wrath. If anybody wants to join in, you are free to, I guess. Do what you want. It's America. If you want to read the Grapes of Wrath, you can do so. And nobody's going to tell you you can't. Well, people might, but who cares what they think? So anyways, enough about that nonsense. I've been thinking about, I've been wanting to get a PS5. It came out. Been looking into it. Man, they still out of stock everywhere. I was at a Best Buy, because my microphone is giving me issues, so I wanted to get that sorted out, and I just keep having issues, man. It's not a good time, man. But what was I even talking about? I had one of those moments. I don't know. Just happens sometimes. What was I talking about? I was at Best Buy. Oh yeah, and I just checked, and yeah, they're out. They're out of pretty much everything PS5 except for the controllers. One of the few things they do actually have in stock. So, hey man, gotta buy me a PS5 at some point. Drop 500 bones on that bad boy, but when it becomes of reasonable price, I suppose. So anywho, I've been looking into that. And, I've been looking at a PC. They all look just so expensive that I'm not sure if it's going to be even worth it. But, hey man, at least it'll be there. I can, I can dream, man. A man can dream, okay? Even though I'm probably not going to get a PC. A boy can dream. So, anywho, that was that. My visit to Best Buy. Yeah, had a pretty interesting day yesterday. Just the whole, Luke and I went to the surplus store and then took the car into Brake Max and then just all that, just... I mean, you could hear about it at the last podcast. You don't need me to recount it all here, but I had an interesting day, man. I wish all my days could be that interesting. Got the day off tomorrow. Maybe I can, I don't know, do something. Gotta call up the boys, so that maybe I can get some material for this podcast. But anywho, I've been thinking of things to do with Justin because, his folks take the whole pandemic super seriously. And they're like, no public spaces, no nothing like that. So it's been hard to do things in person. Basically just this podcast, but hey, man. Oh, and also, I'm almost positive Justin did his reading. So, assuming he did, I can only assume he did. It would be pretty funny, though, if he didn't. But assuming he did, we're going to have the Praise Justin podcast, where basically we're going to see how long we can spend just praising Justin because he's such a cool dude. Because that was our kind of bet that if Justin did his reading this week, we'd have the Praise Justin podcast. And if he didn't, we'd have the Screw Justin podcast. So we'll have that going. Maybe Luke will come along for that as well. But, hey, man. It be what it be. So, anywho, I'm about to get that done. See if I can, squeeze in a couple more podcasts before the school starts up again. And I'll be busy as heck. I don't know, maybe it'll be good to have some podcasts on lockdown so that maybe, a week where I'm like, man, I don't want to put in another hour. I can just be like, pop, pop, watch the bodies drop because I've already got one in storage. So, but, I don't know. I've always kind of been of the personal opinion to just put it out when it ought to be out and not wait for these arbitrary, once a week type of deals because, if you already have it and it's already made, why not release it? You're just making people wait for no reason. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Who's to say for sure? But I don't know. Maybe there's value in waiting. Who's to say? But anywho, so that's that. Yep. God. I knew I had so much to talk about in the beforehand, but, because up to the last podcast, I was like, oh, it's been 2 weeks and, so much has happened. I'll have so much to talk about, but, not really. I don't know. Not an incredible amount has really happened, really. I don't know. Since Christmas... I don't know, maybe if I think of something, I can tell you guys, but I don't know, man. I don't know. God, what was I thinking of? Had an uncle come over. He's having a bit of a situation with the missus, soon to be ex-missus. I'm just gonna call it right here. He's not having a good time. But yeah, man, it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. Not gonna drop any names because who needs that? But one of my uncles is quite probably going to go through a divorce, and it's going to be ugly, man. I can already see it from a mile away. It's just going to be an ugly one. Just, because it's already come to violence, and it's like, at that point, if the missus is like fucking gouging your eyes out and like threatening to put a bullet in your head, I mean, yeah, I feel like she's probably not going to be a one to make the divorce process an easy and quick one. Plus, they're both like, they've both done so much illegal stuff. It's actually hilarious. Because, he's like bought like some, he's bought his kids some illicit substances, we'll just say that. Allegedly, maybe, possibly. I'm a liar, don't listen to me, police. But, allegedly bought his children some illicit substances, which, if you believe in that or not, whatever your personal beliefs is, it is against the law. So, probably best to follow the law. Meanwhile, his wife has been evading taxes for years, so, I mean, Jesus. That's neither of them are really in a, neither of them are necessarily angels, let's say, but, they're going through that right now, so it's gonna be, I'm just gonna call it, man. I'm calling it here. It's gonna be an ugly process, and it is unfortunate because he's a pretty cool dude. I've known him. I mean, we're not that close. I've only seen him like 2-3 times that I can remember, but I remember his kids being pretty cool. I've only seen them like once, and I don't know. I mean, I don't wish harm on anybody, and least of all them. So it's just unfortunate. I mean, anybody who's gone through a divorce or knows folks have gone through divorces, I mean, you hate to see it happen, man, especially if you know both of them. Luckily, I mean, I don't have, both of them I haven't really seen all that often, so it doesn't hit as hard to me emotionally, but you just hate to see it happen, man. It's unfortunate, but hey, it's the way it is. Better to cut it off than to just live the rest of your life in misery. So, what are you gonna do? Maybe you can find someone else who doesn't gouge his eyes out and pays her taxes. But then again, don't we all need somebody like that in our lives? But anywho, that's just me. That's just me airing out some of the old gossip. I know, y'all are into that. But anywho, that's that. That's it. Not really a whole lot. Maybe I'll go into it a little bit better if the need should arise. But anywho, I'm just vibing. Just vibing over here. Man. Zooming through. I'm so relaxed right now. Sometimes it gets a little bit hard to think up stuff when I'm this relaxed, but hey man, we deal with it. Been thinking of some of my vehicle pet peeves. I always think it's interesting, man. Pet peeves, the things that bother folks that make sense, but maybe they don't bother other people. I think that for me, what's more surprising is my anti-pet peeves, the things that don't bother me, even though they probably should. Like for driving, for example, like being cut off. For some reason, I don't know, it doesn't bother me, I guess. It's one of my anti-pet peeves that people cut me off, I'm like, okay, tap the old brake, slow down a touch, just let them get there in front of me, and bada bing, bada boom, you're back on your merry journey. Not much of a hassle in my personal opinion, but dude, some people get pissed off when they get cut off, man. I mean, dude, I've seen folks just absolutely lose their shit when somebody cuts them off. Like, you would not believe. which is crazy because I just don't get that. I don't get everywhere close. I'm just like, all right. I don't know. I always felt it was just like a natural part of driving that, you get your license, you take your test, and you just got to accept that people are going to be cutting you off. It's going to happen. It just is going to happen. So, not much use in, whining over it. But, anywho, one of my anti-pet peeves. Geez, do I have a driving pet peeve? I don't know. Man, I'm trying to think. Do I have any driving pet peeves? I mean, I don't know. Another anti-pet peeve, I guess, the middle finger when I get flipped off. It rarely ever happens to me, man. It's only happened like a handful of times that I know of, that I've actually seen. But I don't know. I'm like, they flip me the bird, and I'm actually more intrigued than anything. It's like, oh shit, somebody flipped me the bird. I don't know. It's like, I get more excited that people notice me and care enough to flip me off. I guess I don't know. I don't know what that says about my character, but I guess that's kind of the vibe. Oh, hold up. I'm just measuring out the fists to my face so that I can tell Luke and Justin. I swear to my the number of fists away from the face that I always recommend to them, it changes every single time. Because at first I was like 1 fist away, then it's like the next week's like no 2 fists away, and then like before it was like no 3 fists away, and then right now it's like oh no 4 fists away. Pretty soon we'll just be like across the room from the mic, just like just 26 fists away, man. That's about the ideal range from the microphone you're probably gonna want to be at. 26 fists, about 5 yards or whatever. But I don't know. I think the thing about the 1 fist, it was less a thing that I had discovered about the mic for myself, and more a thing that I just copied from. Well, first of all, Joe Rogan. He's always telling his guests, fist away from the face. But then also, like, in just normal microphones for performing live music, they generally recommend, like, about a fist away or however many inches away from the mic to where you're going to want to be. So, I don't know. I've always kind of taken that for the good mic etiquette. But, hey, man, apparently my mic requires differently, so there it is. Yeah, mic etiquette. I haven't been to a whole lot of live concerts, like, in my life. Well, I mean, like, live concerts of, like, popular artists. But, man, I know who has the worst mic etiquette of all the people I have seen, man. Dude, the freaking Chainsmokers, dude. They just straight up just manhandle that mic, just, like, shove it right. I swear to God, they practically swallow their mics because it's just... And then they just hit the hardest P's they can, and it's not good, man. I don't know because they're like a pretty experienced group, a very experienced live group. So it shocks me to no end that like no sound engineer or producer or sound guy's ever been like, hey guys, you mind maybe holding the mic just a little bit further away from your mouth, maybe try not swallowing the mic, maybe that'll make a difference in the sound quality. But I guess nobody wanted to tell them because they're the Chainsmokers or whatnot. But man, it's not doing themselves any favors, man, with that mic etiquette, dude. It's no bueno. It's no bueno indeed. But anyways, enough of me talking smack about the Chainsmokers. I see I know the Needle Drop, famous review channel and stuff. He rags on the Chainsmokers to no end, dude. Like, God, it's hard to think of other musical artists that the Needle Drop just shits on more than the Chainsmokers. I think they are like his public enemy number 1 in terms of music, but I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm just gonna be for realsies for realsies. They're not that bad. I'll say it. I'm saying it right here, right now, on Ricky's podcast, that the Chainsmokers really aren't that bad, especially live. You see them live, you're gonna have a good fucking time if you're like kind of into like electronic music, you know. You're gonna have a good time. I mean, they're just great at capturing the vibe. Like they're not something I would sit in my room with a pair of headphones, earphones, and just vibe out to. They're just not that type of band. They're definitely a dancing band, man. Like, you know, you don't listen to Chainsmokers for the deep philosophical arguments or the, you know, the dense fucking musicality or whatever the fuck, you know. You do it cuz you want to get up and dance, you know. It's like, I mean, in jazz music, man, you have like you don't go to the Jesus, the Benny Goodman big band. You know, you're not going to throw them on because you're like, oh yes, the depth. Oh yes, the musical merit within. No, you're doing it because you want to get up and dance, bro, you know? I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that's just how I feel about it. You know, they're definitely just a dancing band for entertainment. And honestly, that's what music was really kind of made for, just to, you know, just to have a good time. I mean, we came around later and to be like, oh, music can be something deeper, which is good. I like having some deep music every now and again. Some good lyrics, good musicianship, you know, the whole shebang. But listen, man, sometimes you just want to get up and dance, just chill out, bro. So I don't know. I've never been much of a. Actually, I have. I used to be, man. When I was a teenager, I used to be a dick when it comes to music. That's one of my regrets, man. Just, you know, being such a dick about music. I used to feel so superior, being like, oh yes, I listen to fucking Queen and Radiohead, and oh, look at me, I'm such a deep intellectual. I listen to Bob Dylan and read the lyrics, you know. But I mean, the more life I live, kind of the more I realize that, I mean, there's no reason for it. There's no reason to be so snobbish about these sorts of things. It's music, dude. It's music. What are you judging people for their musical taste for? I don't know. I think if you're into it, you're into it. You know, I'm not really one to go saying what you ought to be listening to. I can give you my recommendations, but other than that, man, I can't really tell you what to say. I don't know. But anywho, those are my thoughts about music. If you were wanting that. Man, I hope the audio turns out well, because I really did take a risk recording this whole podcast on this basically defective mic. You know, so hey man, if it's shite again, won't be the first podcast with shite audio quality, so it be what it be, you know what I'm saying? Anywho, so we hit on that. I really ought to start, like, I know, you know, there's never a script or nothing. This is purely by the seat of our pants, you know. But, you know, it would be nice to have maybe some, like, a cue or something, have, like, a thing to just kind of lay back on. I said in the last episode that maybe my topic to just fall back on, should all hope fail, just, you know, go straight to TCAP, just as my default. And guess who's gonna do that? Yeah. So yeah, I'm a pretty good fan of Walls. I don't know how well known he is. I could probably pull up his YouTube channel here. You know, see if he's one of those well-known cats, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, he's only got 27.6 thousand subscribers. Oh, this guy's This guy's underground. Okay, Walls, man. Shout out then. Shout out to Walls for having one of the greatest TCAP channels of all time. You know, he's not very high production value. It really is just, the video and his voice. I'm sure he doesn't have the most excellent just sound quality, production value, whatever, but the dude's fucking funny, and you can tell that he's like really into it. Just the amount of times he just busts out into laughter. Well, I mean, first of all, he clearly does it all in one take. Just goes right straight through it, but my God, what an absolute gangster. Shout out, guys. Shout out Walls. His profile picture, at least at the moment, hope he doesn't change it because it's pretty funny, is Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the fucking wrestler outfit. Hilarious, man. Hilarious. You want to get into some good TCAP, if you want to like get educated on the memes, just Walls, man. Walls. And I'm open to your guys' suggestions too. I mean, I know nobody listens to this podcast, but if anybody knows of some great TCAP channels, I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, Walls is probably not the best beginner channel. I'd probably suggest like a smooth kind of transition just to slide you into Walls, because Walls is just where I am at the moment. But I mean, I got originally turned on to Catch a Predator by Mr. Gigi. Shout out, Mr. Gigi. Another YouTube channel, I think more well known. I could pull him up here. He's definitely got way more than Walls, man. Walls is... I mean, it really is... It's shameful just how few subscribers Walls has, considering how fucking hilarious he is. Hey, Mr. Gigi's actually not that huge either, man. What, 687,000 subscribers? I mean, yeah, I say that like it's nothing, only because I'm used to like millions upon millions of subscribers, but so it's really nothing to sneeze at. But hey, man, I mean, again, underrated, I'll say. One of Walls' great catchphrases is underrated, man. Underrated YouTube channels, the both of them. Really is underrated. Check him out. I mean, Mr. Gigi has so much other content other than, TCAP, but I think that's kind of become what he's known for. But, he's got other stuff. I dig it. I watch, I listen, I dig. Walls is basically exclusively TCAP material, but he's hilarious, I love it. Kind of have some similar styles, Walls and I. We're not so different, you and I, but he's a bit more focused though, at least, because he has a topic and such. I just go off on some nonsense for an hour straight. Yeah, God knows why anybody would ever listen to this for longer than they have to, but hey, man, I do this for me, not for you, if that wasn't abundantly clear enough based on just everything about my channel. But anywho, just going through it, man. Going through it. Yeah, brah. Been getting into graphic novels. Haven't read in a long time any graphic novels. What was the last one I read? Jeez, it's hard to... I think I read some Sandman. I think I'm on volume, or not... Well, I guess kind of volume. Trade paperback volume like 3 or something. I could double check that, but it's a good series, man. I really ought to get back into it. The thing I think I've discovered about myself, that sometimes it's hard to just sit down and read, because I always found a need to like multitask. So like my go-to thing is to like throw on a podcast, YouTube video, whatever, and then also be playing a video game, or watch some episodes of TV show and playing a video game. basically do whatever audio-visual thing and then also play a video game is my go-to thing to do in my spare time. So sometimes it's difficult for me to get into graphic novels, but I don't know. Maybe I ought to start meditating or something. Get me into more of giving me the ability to be more at peace with my solitary thoughts. But, as I grow older and older, I become more and more acutely aware that time is just so limited. So I just do what I can with what I have. Yeah, if you're a kid out there, well, first of all, if you're a kid out there, I mean, I'm not sure if this is the best channel for you. It's not the worst, actually. There's way worse out there now that I think about it. So actually, man, holy shit. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I swear. But other than the swearing, man, I think this might actually be like a relatively kid-friendly channel. Damn. Crazy to think about, but anywho, what was I even saying? Yeah, it's kid-friendly if you just don't mind the constant just losing my train of thought. It's what happens if you just do it off the seat of your pants, man. Just sometimes you lose it sometimes. And you repeat yourself and you have all kinds of nonsense. But anywho, God, what was I talking about? I just gotta work it back. Okay, kid friendly. I was talking about kid friendly channel, possibly. If you're a kid. Oh, yeah, if you're a kid watching this, just cherish your life, man. Whoever you are, cherish your life. It's a beautiful thing you got and all, but just cherish the time, this free time, man, because I mean, even I realize that I have just loads of time in comparison to what I'm going to have in the future, but even with all this time, I have no time, if that makes any sense. God. Doing a bit of the old choking, but hey, man, I guess that's what life's all about. Just enjoying it while you have it, because, you ain't gonna have it forever, so might as well enjoy it and stuff. Man. Gotta think of, because we just finished that book. I'm planning so far ahead, man, it blows your mind. It'll blow your mind, but trying to think of what my next selection of book, because Luke's probably gonna most likely pick The Grapes of Wrath, and we'll do that, and then Justin will have his pick, whatever he chooses, and then it'll be back to me. I'm thinking of what to choose. Maybe another classic, or maybe another meme book. Another meme book. It's hard to say, because Dune was a blast just having, but I think a good portion of Dune, and I think part of the reason why Confederacy of Dunces I didn't get to meme on it so hard is that it's already a comedy, so it already is like self-aware enough to know that, it's a ridiculous situation, so it's hard to really meme on something when it's already a meme. It's hard to meme on a meme is what I'm saying, so I think if I'm looking for just meme potential, it's got to be just a normal book. I don't know. It might have been a little bit of mistake going into something like that. I don't know. My train of thought just is not there. I just keep derailing myself on every chance I get. But anywho, enough about that. Oh, for Christmas I did get a video game that I've been wanting. It's the Demon Souls, not the remake, the OG original Demon Souls, for the PlayStation 3, OG Demon Souls. It's the only Soulsborne Ekiro title that's not on PS4. So, and I've always had a little bit of issue trying to find a copy of Demon Souls, especially now that first of all, PlayStation 3 is now 2 generations ago. And also that, you know, the remake came out, so of course everybody's going to want to play Demon Souls, but little they know that I am a real From Software gamer. Not really. But, hey man, I platinum Dark Souls, Dark Souls 3, 2, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. So I think I've got a fair amount of From Software street cred to my name. One thing I didn't always want to, but one thing I've been wanting to play recently is the one of those, what's it called? Echo Knight, the old From Software, man. It's apparently From Software, an old like horror game, and it was, I think, originally made for the OG PlayStation. But now you can get it on PlayStation 3 through its like classics collection or whatever that's called. But I've been thinking of getting into that too. It's unfortunate that a big deterrent for me is trophies, because the PlayStation classics don't have any trophies, so it tends to kind of steer me away, because I'm a bit of a trophy whore. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm definitely that type of dude, but I don't know, maybe I'll get into just playing a game because it's fun, and not because I get some imaginary bling that doesn't even matter outside of pretty much just Justin, basically. Justin and myself. He's the only one I brag to about my trophy collection, so I don't know. Maybe I can con Luke into bearing with my nonsense. Because, it's the only thing I use Snapchat for anymore. It's just sending Justin just bragging to him about my platinum trophy collections. My gaming escapades. So, it be what it be. But anywho, been having a spot of allergies lately. Like, my nose is a bit kind of clogged, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm gonna want to wash my sheets. Maybe that's it. Who knows? But I'm sure it can't hurt. It's not gonna hurt having clean sheets now and again. I don't know how long you're supposed to, how often you're supposed to wash your sheets, but it ain't every day. I'll tell you that much about me, man. It's like once every month or so, man. It's no bueno, I don't think. I don't know. I think I've even heard some folks even recommend like once a day, or like once every other day, once every third day, but I'm just rolling up. Classic college student, once a month, once every 2 months, just, I don't know. It really is a paradox being a college student. You simultaneously have like an excessive amount of time, but also just no time at all. So it really is hard to explain, but it just be what it be. I don't know. I'm ready to power through the end of the year. Should be an okay time. Man, my whole college career is just flying by. It's hard to imagine, but I'm sure that's pretty much how it goes when you're, an adult and such. But, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? It sucks, this whole, COVID mess, that I can't go to the university anymore and, like, meet people. I don't know. I always kind of had a bit of hopes that maybe I'd, like, make some new friends while I'm over at college that could, follow me forever. Because, Justin's fantastic dude, but he's just one guy. And Luke is the same deal, and Luke's gonna go to, like, he ships off to Boston for school, and he's gonna be other places for internships, so, I don't know. It'd be nice to have somebody else to just chill with. I don't know. Cause the other jazz majors, they're cool dudes. They're cool folks, but in terms of hanging out, God, I don't know if I feel that deep about them, but I don't know. I'm a bit antisocial. I'll be the first to admit it, I guess. That I'm a bit of an antisocial person. It takes me a long time to really get to know a person and to really feel comfortable with a person, so I don't know. Maybe I just need to go out there and just deal with it. But, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I was telling my folks about that Panda Express. I don't know if I've ever said it here on the podcast, but there's this Panda Express inside the U of A Student Union. Steer far clear away from that one, man. Because I was telling him I've been there 3 times, and all 3 of those times I got just crippling food poisoning from that place. All 3 times I've been there, just shooting just from out of both ends, just absolutely just ruining myself, man. Vomiting for like a couple days straight, diarrhea, just like the worst you've ever seen. I don't know. But yeah, that Panda Express, man. I'm not gonna go to it. I've already said that. I mean, it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, quite honestly, still shame on you. Fool me 3 times. I think that your restaurant is like, you know, vastly violating the public health and safety whatevers, because Jesus Christ, there's no way that you should be giving a person food poisoning 3 times in a row. That's just ridiculous. I wonder if I could sue, honestly. If they're poisoning me 3 times in a row, I mean, it's probably you could probably sue them, honestly. You could probably sue and probably win even. So my god. But yeah, that's my whole deal. I think I am going to wash my sheets. Just get it all out of the way. Be a good time. But yeah, it's unfortunate that my microphone's giving me issues, because that live monitoring was lit, bro. Just being able to hear yourself at the same time is beautiful. That's something that I always wished for gaming. I always wish that gaming could have like some kind of live monitoring, because as it stands, I just talk into the void and just hope they can, hope people hear what I think they hear, because it's happened before where I'll be talking down a mic during a game and they just can't hear me for one reason or another. But it'd be nice. I don't know. Ubisoft, get on that. Or whoever. I don't know. That was just the first company that came to mind. Get on that. Give us some gaming live monitoring through your mics. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lunatic and I'm like the only person that wants that, because I know Justin is not a fan of live monitoring as a concept for gaming. But hey, man, Justin's Justin. He's just one dude. Who cares what one dude thinks? This is why I need to have another friend, because just have a tiebreaker to be like this. But I don't know. It's hard to say. But hey man, what are you gonna do? I wonder if people are gonna get sick of that. Just there's like all these words and phrases and sounds that are basically just to fill the void while I think of something else to talk about. But I wonder how annoying they actually become. Hey man, if you get annoyed by it, you can at least have the comfort of knowing that I'm at least trying to work on it. Trying to get rid of those whole throwaway phrases and words to keep it nice and tight. But sometimes something slips through, and it's just a force of habit, I guess, being able to talk like that. I'm so impressed a lot of the times with Luke and Justin being able to talk like coherent human beings on the podcast and otherwise. I'm like, dude, they don't even have like, they don't even say like or which is or I don't know like I use. They actually just say what they want to say, and I don't know. I don't know. There you go. Another one of my phrases. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man. Of all of our friend group to be the guy who starts a podcast, who would have thought that it'd be me? The guy who can barely speak English, even though it's his first language. Part of me blames it on the fact that I don't know, I blame it on my classical guitar studio. Because pretty much all of them, English is their second or third language, so they're not the best at it. You can always understand them, but I think part of it's kind of running off on me, just that semi-broken English style. Or maybe I'm just lazy, who knows? Don't know how to speak properly. That's the thing. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the quarantine. I don't know how to talk to people anymore. Who knows? Maybe it's L'Oreal. Maybe I'm worth it. But anywho, so that's that. Looking up at my religious texts. Man, if anybody knows, I'm trying to find some good scriptures for Buddhism, because that's something that I always give props to, like Christianity, Islam, and like Scientology. And I mean, of course, Judaism, because kind of the offshoot of Christianity. But well, I mean, technically, if you want to get technical, Christianity is technically the offshoot of Judaism. But the thing I always respect about those guys is that at least they condense all their knowledge into one single book that you can just buy and read, and just and just know what they're all about. But like, I think like Hinduism, Buddhism, like there is no written text really that's just the basis for their whole religion. It's just, hey man, these are just teachings that we've just all passed down by mouth, and we just kind of know. You just kind of, when you know, you know. And if you don't know, well, then I guess you don't know. And that's basically their whole attitude. Which is, it makes it hard, I will say. It makes it hard to try to get into your religion if you don't have like a book or a flyer or something that I can read. But I guess that's their way of weeding out the normies or something. I don't know. Maybe. But anywho, that's just my thought on that. So if anybody knows of any good reads that could, that are sacred texts, I only kind of did my research, but of course they don't have one singular text that is there. That just lays out everything. So if anybody knows anything, I'm interested. Any of my Buddhist homies out there want to help a brother out, I'm interested. I may not join you, but I could at least derive some good principles. That's what I'm always about. That's really the reason why I look into these things in the first place, is that, like, even if you don't buy into the, God, Jesus, Allah, Muhammad thing, there's at least some good, like, teachings you can find in there, or some good philosophies you can derive from it. I mean, if anything, they're more just kind of philosophical texts, I suppose. But hey man, who am I? I'm just a 21-year-old lunatic who has too much time on his hands and has decided to start a podcast. So, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? I just shove it on YouTube in like the deep, dark annals of YouTube for nobody to see. I always think about maybe maybe promoting this bad boy. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe if I promote a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just a bit of the old yawn. It's like 8:30 at night. So I know I shouldn't be yawning, but hey, man, it's my body. It's just the way I work. But anyways, maybe if I promote it a little bit, people might actually watch it. So who knows? Who knows even? I mean, who even knows? But I don't know. Instagram is basically my main social media. Or at least it's the one that if I posted on it, the most people would see it, I guess. So, I don't know. I've been debating about maybe either at 50 or 100 episodes, I'll start promoting this thing because I don't know. Maybe I should start promoting it now, so just get that over with. But, it can be hard to just put yourself out there, It made it easy for me to do this right here, right now, because I can put it out there with the very, very safe assumption of knowing that nobody's going to watch it, so who cares? But if I actually promote it, people might actually start to watch it, so... But hey, man, why would you even make a podcast if you don't want to get it out there? Maybe I will. Maybe I will make a post about it. You don't know. You don't know me. You don't know my life. Yeah. You know what? Screw it. Maybe I will just post a little something something on the old boy. Maybe. I don't know, man. Wrestling with myself. Should I make a post? Should I do it? Should I fucking take the plunge? Might as well, man. I mean, I guess it's better to start a community as sooner rather than later, I guess. Besides, I mean, even if I do post about it, I mean, who's even going to actually listen to the podcast? So you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it. Screw it. I'm just going to do it, okay? I'm just going to do it. Screw it. I think maybe, you know what? I'll do it live. Live on air on the podcast. I'll promote this bad boy. I'll just make a post about it, drop a link in the comment or whatnot, and we'll get this bad boy on the road. I do lightly need to pee, but also noise warning, guys. It could, I'm gonna move some things around over here so I can make it a little bit presentable. So don't mind the old noise. If there is noise, I apologize. I'm just moving some boxes to maybe give myself a bit of the old, I don't know, edge or something. I don't even know do I even know what I'm saying anymore? The answer is no. No, I don't. I do not. I'm just trying to see what I can do to, make people judge me the least amount. So, I'm just gonna pull one of the old selfies out of here, so, I don't know, maybe I should, I don't know whether to selfie it up, picture of the laptop, I have no idea, but, hey man, hey bro, okay, I think I'm just gonna go for it. Screw it. Fuck it. Who cares? Nobody cares. Okay, now I'm getting fucking technical about it. I gotta find the right angle. I've always been trying to look for a good angle that, you know, I don't know, does well. Hey, maybe landscape. Maybe that's a good way to fucking fit all this garbage in here. Garbage. So anyways, I'm just gonna, let's see, find a good angle that doesn't make me look like a fat piece of shit. Anywho, I'm just gonna fucking, there we go. Let's see here. This thing's about, say cheese, my boy. Well, let me move this. Make this shit more presentable. Fix up the hair a little bit. Goddamn. My apologies, folks. If anybody's fucking here from the Instagram, you just know that my heart goes out to you. Oh, we already passed the 1 hour. So basically, as soon as I'm done with this here, the podcast will end. So if you don't want to listen to my bullshit while I try to finagle myself into a photo, you don't have to. So you can leave right now if you want to. But anyways, I'm just going to look for that nice pose. Good old smile. Just, yeah, show some teeth. Ah, fuck. Okay, let's see here. Are any of these fucking presentable? Just like one for the road. Alright, should I go full businessman? Like a real gamer? Yeah, just one of these bad boys. You know, this was an absolutely terrible idea to try to take a picture live on the podcast. I'm just going to end it here. Screw it. You know, I'm just going to end it here and go to the podcast song and we'll play it out, and then then I can actually take this picture, because who wants to listen to this? Anyways, thank you, everybody. You know, anybody who made it this far, my heart goes out to you. My deepest condolences. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. Again, I mean, if you made it this far, God rest your soul, man. I wouldn't make it this far. But anyways, see y'all later. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. Peace and love and all that jazz. End of the podcast. It's the end of the podcast. Check back in next time, and we'll have some fun.